Welcome back with another live. Please share, subscribe, hit that like button for me, and let's get to this live here. Kidnapping in Chicago. Are Black Americans getting snatched up too? Not just Mexican immigrants. So we see missing children go missing in America almost every year. So now I want to get to the report what is coming out from the ICE agents. They said F them kids. The ICE agents dragged children out of bed, ransacked Chicago buildings. Now, CBS News reported 37 arrests in South Shore. ICE rage. DHS claimed it was targeting gang members. Now listen, it was targeting gang members. Now, according to reports, federal agents detained 37 people in an immigration raid in Chicago's South Shore neighborhoods. The Department of Homeland Security claimed it was targeting members of Venezuelan gangs. People was out of their beds in the early hours of Tuesday morning by U.S. immigration and custom enforcement officers and other federal agents armed in full military uniforms. Cell phones video captured by neighbor shows agents leading people in zip ties to a school parking lot near 75 and South Shore around 1 a.m. Tuesday. Women and children was amongst those detained, at least briefly. Now, the FBI confirmed there was assisting in a target immigration enforcement operations at the apartment buildings, and DHS now says the target include members of a notorious gang, the Venezuelans, I should say, excuse me. But information about who was actually picked up and why. So it says 75 arrests was actually made regarding gang members. So it says DHS also says it was targeting people with drug trafficking, offensive weapons charge, immigration violations. But again, officials have declined to say who was actually arrested and why, according to these reports. It says community activists says many of the undocumented immigrants who came to South Shore left their country for a chance at a safer life. Hundreds of masked agents knocked down the door and dragging families out in the middle of the night, holding babies that was unclothed. That's not right. See, this is unlawful. What Trump is doing here, this is unlawful, man. It says folks that was just trying to live their life in this community does not look like safety to you. No. It says Veronica Castro of the Illinois Coalition for Immigrants and Refugees' Rights. CBS News Chicago have continued to reach out to the DHS for more information about the South Sword raid, though answers may be further delayed. A post to the agency's website says its press page is not being managed at the moment due to the government shutdown. Now we're gonna get ready to get everything started because we got to go over this, man. There's 13 arrests been made, and I'm telling y'all, man, even kids was involved. They went in there and just decided they didn't care the kids was unclothed. This is crazy. I'm gonna roll this clip, man, because it's crazy, man, that what Trump is doing, he's doing this unlawful, allowing these ICE agents to go into the cities. And like I've been telling you guys, man, we got children that's missing throughout America every year, and nothing being said. See, whenever I looked at the laws, it's not made for the righteous, but for the unrighteous, for the ungodly, the unholy, the are religious, those who practice murder, for the murderers, for this, sex traders, for the homosexuals, forever. That's in the sound doctrine. See, the laws was never made for us. So let's roll this clip, man, because what Trump decided to do was to send ICE agent to go into those cities, like especially Chicago. You got children is missing in the city of Chicago. You got shootings that's continuing going on, and there's nothing that they doing about these shootings that's happening quite often. Let's go.
Of the United States addressing his military leadership.
Fantastic. I've never walked into a room so silent before. This is very new. Don't laugh. You're not allowed to do that. You know what? Just have a good time. And if you want to applaud, you applaud. And if you want to do anything you want, you can do anything you want. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave the room. Of course, there goes your rank. There goes your future. But you just feel nice and loose, okay? Because we're all on the same team. And I was told that, sir, you won't hear a murmur in the room. They said we had to loosen these guys up a little bit. So you just have a good time. But I want to thank Secretary Hexat and General Kane, General Racing Kane, for a reason they call him that. When I heard his name, I said, you're the guy I'm looking for. The Joint Chiefs of Staff and so many others in this room who together represent the greatest and most elite fighting force in the history of the world, the United States military. We're very proud of our military. We built the military during my first term. It was one of the greatest achievements. We had the greatest economy in history, and I built the military. Those are the two things I say more than anything else. And I also kept us safe at the borders.
Our economy, y'all, is on the verge of falling. It's sad. It's sad to see what Trump is doing. But yeah, when we look at our economy, it's crashing off. Everything is starting to decline. We see the dollar. It ain't gonna be the dollar no more. And I say this to you guys. Say this. They shutting things down because they know something major is gonna hit. So they like shutting everything down, y'all. I was hearing people saying that, man, they're planning to shut EBT down. They're shutting off a lot of things for us. And you know what I mean, people wasn't really expecting to see this great fall, this great fallout we seeing. Something gradually building, you guys. And I always say, especially in a traumatic time we we are in. We see the chaos, we see the brutality, we see the tacities, we see the murders, children's missing, children's is murder in America. We seen from school shootings, we seen from church shootings. I mean, we seen it all. And my question is, are kidnapping is happening right now? We see in Chicago. Are black people in America getting snatched up too in Chicago? Let's go.
Very good borders. We didn't have people coming in from jails and prisons and everything like took place over the last 4 years. They'll never forget what happened to this country over the last 4 years with the incompetence. There could be no higher honor than to serve as your commander in chief. It is a great honor. I look at you, you're just incredible people. Central casting, I might add. To each and every one of you, I thank you for your unwavering devotion to the armed forces and to the country that we've all sworn a sacred oath to defend. We all have that oath, every one of us. I'm thrilled to be here this morning to address the senior leadership of what is once again known around the world as the Department of War. You know, Pete spoke about it. He gave a great speech, I thought. Great speech. I don't want him to get so good. I hate that. You know, no, I hate it. I almost fired him. I said, you can't. I don't want to go on after that. Now, he gave a great speech, but he talked about Department of War. We were sitting there. I said, didn't they used to be called the Department of War? Yeah, he goes, yes, sir. They changed it like in the early 50s. So we won the First World War. We won the Second World War. We won everything in between and everything before that. We only won. And then we went away woke. That was probably the first sign of wokeness. And we changed it to defense instead of war. And I said, what do you think? What do you think if we change it back?
Now you guys got to use your discernment. They know they're escalating a war, but this is not a war that we see like World War One and Two. This is a complete different war, y'all. This is a war that's going to go down in history on the global scale. I've been telling y'all that the Cold War we see, there's still the Cold War between America and Russia to be reckoned with. People know that America and Russia is one of the most two powerful war factors. And that this cold collision so will that there's gonna be a war between NATO and Russia. Tensions is already, fuming. It's already things already boil. We seeing escalations that's starting to happen. The escalations right now is starting to happen. Makes no ends and bouts. Because we see there's a war that's in the making between America and Russia. That people may not be talking about. But I see just with the sanctions and tariffs that Trump have been putting in these foraging countries, it's not going to stick too long, y'all. Things is fuming at the very moment, so it's not going to actually stick too long. America, I've been saying America is on the verge of a collapse. This at some point, this economy is going to crash. At some point, it's going to crash. At some point, so I say this: buckle your seatbelts, enjoy the ride. You know what I mean? Man, I know it hit a lot of people. You know what I mean? A lot of people was probably unsurprised. You know what I mean? What they see coming. I know it had, you know what I mean, surprised a lot of us. But y'all continue to use your discernment here, man. Kidnapping is starting to happen in Chicago. These ICE agents that Trump is sending out, and yes, it was going into people's home. I told you guys about this martial law. It was going in people's homes. There's people that was undressed that they was going inside these homes. In a report, it says F these children's ICE agent dragged children out of the bed and ransacked Chicago buildings. Now, are black Americans getting snatched up? That's the question. Not just Mexican immigrants, but are black people getting snatched up? Now, you got to think about this. Children is going missing. And ain't nobody really talking about it. Children is being snatched throughout America every year. Ain't nobody talking about it. They're not talking about the shootings that's happening in Texas. There was a serial killer in Houston. Trump is not deploying, troops in Houston. You got serial killers in Houston, y'all. You actually got right crimes that's happening into these, cities where Trump should be sending National Guards. In Houston, I've been saying we got a problem. There's actually a serial killer out on the loose, but he's not going over there. He's not going over the shootings that have been happening in the church. He not deploying military over there. The shooting that happened in, I believe it was Michigan, and we had that. I mean, we talking about church shootings, y'all. Michigan and it was Minneapolis. You know, Trump he's applying this pressure. And not just Mexican immigrants is targeted, but black Americans getting snatched up too. Let's go.
Would that be a nice idea? And Pete loved it immediately. Some people thought about it. They gave it a little thought. But in the end, we did it. And I have to be honest, it's so popular. I thought it would be met with fury on the left, but they're sort of giving up. I must be honest with you. They've had it. They've had it with Trump. They've been after me for so many years now. Here we are. Here we are. Come to the White House anytime you'd like. Now they've given up. A lot of bad people. But all over, it's been so popular. It's been very popular. I really thought that we were going to have to sort of fight it through. There's been no fight. There's been no fight. Like what I call the Gulf of America, the Gulf of America, because to me it was always the Gulf of America. I could never understand. We have 92% of the frontage, and for years, actually 350 years, they were there before us. It was called the Gulf of Mexico. I just had this idea. I'm looking at a map. I'm saying, we have most of the frontage. Why is it Gulf of Mexico? Why isn't it the Gulf of America? And I made the change, and it went smoothly. I mean, we had a couple of fake news outlets that refused to make the change, and then one of them, AP, took us to court, and we won. And the judge, who was a somewhat liberal judge, said the name is the Gulf of America, because AP refused to call it the Gulf of America. They wrote, they're not a good outfit, by the way. They call it the Gulf of Mexico. I said, no, the Gulf of America is the name. And the judge actually said that, in fact, you can't even go into the room because what you're doing is not appropriate. The name is the Gulf of America. Google Maps changed the name. Everybody did, but AP wouldn't. And then we won in court. How about that? Isn't that so cool? The Secretary Hicks has beautifully described the name change and reflects far more than the shift in branding. It's really a historic reassertion of our purpose and our identity and our pride. That's where we go with the world.
You know, it's sad that a lot of us didn't see this coming. We didn't see the great fallout. A lot of us actually didn't see what was coming, man. See, we're at a time where, you know, we got to help ourselves, man. We got to, they don't even have, you know what I mean, enough room for you. Anytime we see kids is missing, it's starting to be too, you know what I mean, crowded. It's starting to be too many of you. You gotta realize Pharaoh had that same idea. It's a great multitude. It's starting to be too many people. It's crowded over. It's overcrowded. You know, and I'm just seeing this. You know what I mean. From my viewpoint, black and Hispanics are targeted here, man. And you know what Trump's doing is unlawful. What he's really doing is very unlawful. And you know the people, the city mayors, and you know what I mean. They so upset. There was a mayor. Actually, there was Gavin Newsom, and you know he was upset what was going on. Trump sending, you know what I mean, extra deployment in Los Angeles. And there was a judge saying what Trump is doing is unlawful. Don't fit them your mammoth rights, because last time I checked was if National Guard's required to come, it's only where we see natural disaster, where we having a shift on climate change, and you know. But what Trump is doing, y'all, you know what I mean. Here's the thing, man. There's this big S thing that's hanging over him, and you know what I mean. He's going to continue. He's the same Trump as we seen in 2016 when we see the January 6th insurrectionists. See, he's the same Trump we see. Trump says some very harsh words to his government. I mean, you know what I mean? He insulted his tendency. We see when there was every desk that there is in the CIA, there's an embassy. Trump, you know what I mean? I remember there was a time he came into Iran, and he said, "We're gonna go into Iran. We're gonna go in here and take the oil." See that's a talk. See, that's a talk of a beast. See, a beast, he seeks his prey, and he never get enough. So we actually see what Trump is doing. What we see what Trump is doing is unlawful. and they just raided, and shackled the cities of Chicago buildings. Y'all have to think there was children's that was undressed when they came in, when they raided. Now a lot of people may not, may not know what martial law is. That's martial law. But now when they started doing curfews, because it's going to get real, it's going to start getting real. When they started doing curfews, that's just enough story. Let's go.
We're in war, and we want war because we want to have no wars, but you have to be there, and sometimes you have to do it. I have settled so many wars since we're here. We're here almost 9 months, and I've settled 7. And yesterday we might have settled the biggest of them all. Although I don't know, Pakistan, India was very big, both nuclear powers. I settled that. But yesterday could be the settlement in the Middle East that hasn't happened for 3,000 years. I said, how long have you been fighting? 3,000 years. So that's a long time. But we got it, I think, settled. We'll see. Hamas has to agree. And they don't. It's going to be very tough on them, but it is what it is. But all of the
I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. You can't go into Gaza. See, Trump had a mind to send a mobilization up in Gaza, talking about we're just gonna go in there and have the Gaza people surrender their nukes, make a people defenseless, and in a traumatic time. See, we are living in a traumatic time, though. See, Trump thought that maybe I can just go into the Middle East and shake things up. You can't no more. America don't no longer have power to exercise the Middle East. I mean, there's people, foraging leaders, looking at our president. They laughing. I mean, they're laughing all the way to the bank. They taking him as a joke. They think Trump is a joke. See what Trump going to do. See, when you can't eat your cake and ice cream, right? Trump is all he's going to do is apply sanctions and these tariffs. And see, that's not, See, we are on a shutdown. Our economy is on the verge of falling apart. We seeing a total fallout. Other economies like Russia, China, population ain't doing so well. We ain't doing so well. So I mean, do we just restart things back up because we're not doing so well? I told you guys now, once the government shut down, it's hardly going to get things to reopen again. There's going to be tons of things going to be lost. Food stamps will be lost. Medicare will be sky rocking. People think, their tax return is going to be, be good, but when you get these W-2 forms, I'm telling you guys, man, when they start putting taxes on things like on Medicare, Medi-Cal, I'm telling you, it's gonna get real funky, y'all. Get real funky out here. It's already getting real funky, you know. And this caught a lot of us by surprised. I'm telling you. And I tell I tell people this all the time, man. Be a neighbor to one another, man. Love your neighbor as yourself, man. Follow God's principle and His commands. You can go a long way in your life, man. You can be a helping hand to others, man. Cause this whole economic crash, y'all, we gonna need each other, man. There's people already cropping. There's people already growing their food. There's people. I'm telling you how bad things gonna be, y'all. Why y'all think that they told us to invest in precious metal, silver, copper, and all these things, y'all? Because you're gonna have to use it. You're gonna have to trade it. People are already planning, man. People are already planning. They cropping. You know what I mean? People are already growing their own food. You got to start doing that. We got to start doing that, y'all. But let's go.
Arab nations, Muslim nations have agreed. Israel has agreed. It's an amazing thing. It just came together. War is very strange. You never know what's going to happen with war. The easiest one of them all is Putin. I said, number one, it's a war that would have never happened if I were president, if the election weren't rigged. If I were president, that war would have never happened. Not even a little chance. And it didn't happen for 4 years. But I knew Putin very well, and I thought that would be easy because I knew him so well. Well, that one turned out to be the hardest of them. We had some that were not settlable, and they all got settled. So if this works out that we did yesterday with the Middle East, then that's more than a war. That's lots of wars. That's all combined. That's a lot of wars. Many of you were over there. Many different capacities.
You guys, we seeing we seeing a war finna escalate, y'all. In the United States, y'all. It's gonna be bloodshed because these people know that their time has come, man, and they're gonna do anything. You know what I mean? To hold power. That's why we seeing the whole world starting to unfold, man. Something gradually is building up. I've been saying this, y'all, and they know it, man. These people they not dumb at what you guys think. They know something big is coming here, and our economy is on the break of a fall. See, I've been saying it. We don't have to look. You know what I mean? 10 years. The fall of America is within a few days. This fall we seeing can happen at any given time, y'all. And I say a fallout, y'all. We see a government shutdown. When the government shut down, it's hard to reopen things. It's going to be very hard for them to try to reopen things, y'all. These people know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, y'all. That's why I said when they can't carve out a future for the American people, what think that they gonna, what I mean, carve out a future for themselves when it's no future for us here. See, life here we live in enjoyment and things. You know what I mean? And we have all the joy we had while we was here. And it's this, what I mean, this time where we live in is to enjoy life while we here. Because we don't know, what I mean, how everything is gonna, what I mean, play out. But we see things now. And so they can't hide. They can't hide the things that we see. They can't hide that from us. See, it's like the more evil they do, it's going to get seen. It's being more seen that we seeing that when the people can't promise you a future. This country was always built on lies, false promise. We can never be a nation where there's unity, peace. A nation we've been so divided with this hate, racism. There's racism here in America. America becomes very wicked. America is always wicked. Is wicked beyond our and my imagination. America's curse. She have unsuch, clean human being living. We see murder by the day. We see robbery. We see rape. We see kidnapping. We see children is coming up missing. We see racial injustice. We have political issues here that never been solved by each party. It don't matter to us anymore what party win. That should even not matter anymore to us, because the die has always been set. No matter what kind of party we get, Republican, Democrat. See, neither party that seeks the presidency is faced with the fact of saving the lives of Americans. We see that now. We can see it in the streets. That's what's happening in these major cities. Let's go.
Cities in many different countries. That's a big part of the earth. But if that works out, it would be 8+. I could give myself 2 or 3 for that one. And then we just have the one to settle. We have to settle it up with President Putin and Zelensky. Got to get them together and get it done. But the only way we can do that is through strength. I mean, if we were weak, they wouldn't even take my phone call. But we have extreme strength.
How can Trump be a businessman? A businessman will get things done. From my understanding, right? If Trump was a businessman, here Trump was saying that he can end the war in 24 hours. If he was so much of a businessman, he would have got some deals done. He'd have went to Israel. See, when America has no desire, America will posit their little brother Israel on foreign soil. A country that will be the Palestinians, because those people that's over there in Israel, they're not the real Israelis. We all can see that. We can all know that. They're not the real Israelis. We see that. Jacob, at some point, Jacob got to be reestablished again. Jacob been abandoned. Israel been abandoned. So when I see Trump doing and Hamas, what Trump been trying to do with Gaza, sending a mobilization, we're gonna just go over there and occupy Gaza, go on and take everything they got. See, America no longer can dictate. They no longer have power in these foreign countries. And see, this is why I look. If Trump was a businessman, then why Trump is putting sanctions over there in Russia? putting tariffs, these tariffs on China because they don't see America don't want to buy none of China's product when it comes to their Apple phones. They don't want to buy none of it. You know what I mean? And see, look, y'all, America when it comes to her stocks, her trades, it's all cut out. All her delicious things. When we look at the craftsmen, the sailor man, you know what I mean, the ship masters, I should say. When it comes to her cargo, all her delicate, her splendors, her trades is all gone, y'all. One day, 1 hour, right here in the restaurant, you're about to find out. All that is gone. It's gone. 80% of food that we was getting from China. Look, how can Trump be a businessman? How can he conduct business when people don't want? America's losing friends. Friendships. I want to let y'all know friendship is being her doom, man. She on her way out, man. They will eventually have to pack up. They had to pack up the country on Europe. I don't want to stir up no hate with you guys, but they have to actually pack up and country on that continent of Europe. If they don't country on that continent of Europe to save their future, they're gonna be just have to country on their death instead of their life. See, they can no longer target black people, and they're doing just that. They speeding things up. Now the scientists and scholars can tell you that America's on the way out. This gonna mean bloodshed, y'all. See. When the mother planes is here, when we already seeing the motherships is here, the motherships is not here. You know what I mean? To save a present war, it's here to destroy. See, when they was talking about the champion that was to come to take 12,000 inhabitants and send them off into a different world. Oh yeah, the wheel, the chariot, the motherships. It's like a new human-made planet. I got to see these orbs. They shape into 3 different classes. They see. I want to tell y'all something. See, they want to attack it. They want to go to war with it. If they get close to it, they can be destroyed. See, the white man, they gotta understand that this is not a plane to be played with. See, other planes come out of the motherships. See, in the 1930s, in the Canadian newspaper, they report seeing the motherships. In 1947, during the Roswell incident, they report seeing the motherships. See, they can go through the solar system, no problem. They can't even see it. But they want to tell you it's a comet. It's a Atlas. They tell you all this. That's just to keep y'all dumb, deaf, and blind. They have no knowledge. It can go 40 miles to Earth gravity. It can produce its own hydrogen and oxygen. She can desire to go anywhere she can go in space. I seen these orbs. I know what these orbs are capable of. They can drop bombs into the city. They're not to drop bombs into the water, but into the city. The work of the will bring up mountains. Out from the earth. And they don't have no knowledge of it. When it approached Earth, they have no knowledge of it. How big this mothership is, this the end of a tail can bring down meteorites. Oh, my brothers and sisters, oh, I'm just trying to lace you with some of this knowledge that I can give you. I don't hate you, but I want you to be, you know what I mean, prepared, especially in a traumatic time. Let's go.
The horror show in Afghanistan, which is really the reason I think that Putin went in. He saw that horror show by Biden and his team, incompetent people. And that showed, I think it gave him a path in. I wasn't there any longer. I watched that. It was so horrible. I think it was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country. And now we're back. That's it. We're not going to have any of that crap happen, I can tell you. That was terrible, so terrible. Together we're reawakening the warrior spirit, and this is a spirit that won and built this nation.
America is completely finished. And I can bear witness. I can bear witness to the twisters in the area where some of you live. Can you not see that God is after America? You about to witness one storm after another. You know, and as you think she's going to get over it, made by a previous disaster, you see another one will come. And another one will come to strike her. See, America, they would think that they will rally, think that they will have a good time here, and then they will see an end of time that will approach. But you see, they pay no attention to the sign of the hour. You know, Jesus was saying there was eating, drinking, marrying, giving in marriage. So has America. See, there's a dark cloud springing over the country of America. Do you think that she would get away? You see, murdering, gambling, robbery is the only law and order that is respected. So the country can never be said to be the white man's own, but after conquering, taking, stealing the land from the native Indians. So you might not take this hard teaching. This might be too hard for you to understand. But God is here offering us to sit us in heaven at once. And since hell been an appointed place, they are trying to get you to go along with them.
From the cavalry that tamed the Great Plains to the ferocious and yielding power of Pat Bradley, the great General Douglas MacArthur, these are all great men. In this effort, we're a team, and so my message to you is very simple. I am with you, I support you, and as president, I have your backs 100%. You'll never see me even waver a little bit. That's the way it is. And that includes our great police officers and firemen and all of these people that are doing so well. Together over the next few years, we're going to make our military stronger, tougher, faster, fiercer, and more powerful than it has ever been before.
Do you ever wonder how Nectar can offer such an incredible deal for their adjustable bundle? This bundle includes the Nectar mattress.
I rebuilt our nuclear, as you probably.
See, when they say that they're going to build their military stronger, more powerful, is to apply this pressure. See, when I look, the kidnapping that's happening in Chicago, see, when I look at black Americans getting snatched up, when I look at the killings with black on black crimes in the city of Chicago, I've been always saying to my black people that we gotta turn our guns around. Farrakhan was using black parable, giving those people the the fruit of Islam, and they're still killing. This is why I say this to say this. Trump don't mind. He knows what he's doing is unlawful, but he's warning you that they coming with an army. And they putting this in our face. That his military is going to get stronger, powerful. Now, what are you going to do? When the pressure is applied, they put it right in our face that the ICE agent, they don't give two F's, because they going out into these cities of Chicago, ransacking the buildings, terrorizing. See, Trump is the humanizing a population. We're not talking too much about these shootings that's happening in Texas. Even talking about that. I just want to talk to you guys about what Trump is doing. They dehumanizing the people over there in Chicago. Let's go.
Probably now, but we'll upgrade that also and just hope we never have to use it. We have to hope we never have to use it, because the power of that is so incredible. I see things I don't think they'd show it to you. I really want them to show it to you. But when you see the result of what's left, you never want to use that. Never. Never, ever. We were a little bit threatened by Russia recently, and I sent a submarine, nuclear submarine, the most lethal weapon ever made. Number one, you can't detect it. We're 25 years ahead of Russia and China in submarines. Russia's actually second in submarines. China's third, but they're coming up. They're waiting to lower in nuclear too, but in 5 years they'll be equal. They're coming up. And you don't have to be that good with nuclear. You can have 1/20th what you have now and still do the damage. That would be, that'd be so horrendous. But I announced that, based on his mention of nuclear, and it was really a stupid person that works for him mentioned the word nuclear. I moved.
Now, how is it we are 25 years up of everyone? Basically, Trump is saying we that had a schedule on all of the other nations. Come on, y'all. They've been lying to us all this time, man. I tell y'all this, while we looking on our left hand side, we are not expecting that China and Russia is coming in looking on the right hand side, and things is not looking too good. Anybody can come in here and come in here and invade us. With a government shutdown and what's happening into these major cities and streets, come on, y'all. Things get out of hand. We gotta get to the bottom of things, y'all. Things is really get out of hand, man.
A submarine or two, I won't say about the two, over to the coast of Russia, just to be careful, because we can't let people throw around that word. I call it the N-word. There are two N-words, and you can't use either of them. Can't use either of them. And frankly, if it does get to use, we have more than anybody else. We have better, we have newer, but it's something we don't ever want to even have to think about. But when somebody mentions it, that submarine started immediately thereafter. And it's just lurking, but I'm sure we're not going to have to use it. But it's an amazing, it's undetectable, totally. Ours is, theirs isn't. Theirs are totally detectable. We can detect them easily. We go right to the spot. But we have genius apparatus that doesn't allow detection. It doesn't allow detection at all by anybody above water or below water. It's incredible. We're way ahead of everybody in this and other things. As a result of the exciting renewal of the spirit of our armed forces, and that's what it is. It's really reaching that spirit, unprecedented heights. Over the past 8 months, new enlistments, I'm so proud of this, have surged to record highs, the highest we've ever had. And we used to have recruiting shortages. If you remember, about a year and a half ago, I was at the beginning stage of a campaign, and things came out that you couldn't get people to join the armed forces. And by the way, the police also. Fire department, I always put the fire department in because they're great. They're great. And I get 95% of their vote too, that helps. When you get 95% of their vote, you always have to mention them. But they're great. And they're brave in our inner cities, which we're going to be talking about, because it's a big part of war now. It's a big part of war. But the firemen go up in ladders and you have people shooting at them while they're up in ladders. I don't even know if anybody heard that, but, and I said, don't talk about it much, but I think you have to. Our firemen are incredible. They're up in one of these ladders that goes way up to the sky, rescuing people, and you have animals shooting at them, shooting bullets at firemen that are.
I want to say this, y'all. Jesus always said, let not your hearts be troubled. Because if you believe in God, believe also in me. And my Father's house will be many rooms. And see, this is why Jesus was talking about the Lord merits suffering. See, we at a time, y'all, not everyone will want to enter into the kingdom. We are in a world where there's malice and evil, envy, greed, jealousy, pride, boasters. So Jesus instructs. It's talking about what Jesus says to his disciples, not to fear those who can harm the body, but are unable to kill the soul. Instead, he urged them to fear God, who has the power to destroy both soul and body in hell. This passage emphasized that human threats are temporary compared to God's ultimate authorities over life, and death, encouraging courage in the face of persecution. See, God wants us to not fear the enemy. Never be in fear of someone that's in power. See, this is why I say this, to say that God wants us to be content in what we do. Be content in all you can. Because God says, never will I leave you and never will I forsake you. See, if God is for you, who can be against you? Who can separate you from God? See, Romans 8:31 says, God is for us, who could be against us? See, Jesus was talking about the this distinguishes between the fear of earth oppositions, the fear of man, and the fear of God. He advised against letting human threats intimidate you, especially when the physical body is all that could be harmed. We cannot let like a government shutdown intimidate us because they're using tactic power to intimidate God's people, God's saints. See, when He's the ultimate authority over both the physical body and internal soul, He is the one with the power of the final judgment and can destroy both in hell. So when Jesus spoke of these words to His disciples as they was about to face the persecution for their faith, the verses serve to encourage believers to trust God's protection and justice, giving them the courage to stand firm in their belief. Stand firm and put on the armor of God. Because our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against this world, the principality, the spiritual forces of evil we see. We are in a serious uproar. See, in our world, we living in an uptick. We see Japan is dealing with a major tsunami or tsunami watch. Things actually are gradually. Things are starting to fold, to unwind itself. So people understand what they see is coming is here. Let's go.
Way up in death territory, you fall off that ladder, it's over. It's over. They don't even have to inspect you when you hit the ground. And yet people shooting bullets at them in some of these inner cities. We're not going to let that happen. So I always mention the firemen because that's actually a big problem we have. They are unbelievable. Like you, they're unbelievable people. For the first time on record in 2025, the Navy, Air Force, and Space Force all met or surpassed their recruiting goals 3 months early. That never happened before. And the Army did even better. Congratulations, Army. They met everything. And these were the highest standards because we're making it larger. So these were much higher standards than you had 4 years ago, 3 years ago, during the sleepy Joe Biden era. And the Army did it 4 months early. And you remember a year and a half ago, they said the big stories that we're way behind with the Army, Air Force, the Navy, the Marines, we're way behind, Coast Guard, and even Space Force. I love Space Force because that was my creation. You know, when you create something, I remember that the people we put in there were good. I got that right. We put in great people initially, and we really dominated. We really dominated that sphere now. We're way behind China and Russia and now we dominate. Space Force turned out to be a very important thing. I said from the beginning, you know, when Biden came into office, he wanted to terminate. He said, and this thing called Space Force, so we could get rid of that. And he got hammered by the people in this room for even suggesting it, because it's very important, one of the most important. And as time goes by, it'll get more and more important. But we're now at 106% of our recruiting targets for the year. That's the best in far more than a generation. And for the Marines, morale is so strong that the Marine Corps will meet its 2026 retention targets before the end of October, which never happens. And that's the earliest it's ever happened in the history of our country. And it makes you feel good, you know. I felt guilty. I go make a speech in front of never people like you. You are the leaders. But people, soldiers. And I felt embarrassed because there'd be stories about, you know, we couldn't.
Now, for some reason, man, I've been having a problem for the past week with the YouTube, not sending out my notifications, you know, messing with my live streaming things. But you know, the sad thing, you guys, you know what I mean. What we see, you know what I mean. They really don't want us on here, you know what I mean. And I'm just gonna say it like that. We don't really have a figure of speech. We can't get our platform out to people that needs to really, you know what I mean, hear what's going on. You know, the sad, you know what I mean, the sad thing, even in these local churches. See, America. One thing about America, she has all of these religious, all of our religious are the most ignorant faith we see. And churches we see today is like a Sunday morning disco. Whereas there's a lot of singing, shouting, and not real teachings. See, the Christian preachers, you know, all day long and throughout the day, they preach Jesus. Most of you may want to yank out my teeth if I talk this to you. We shout, we spaz out in our churches, but do we ever shout out, spaz when our brothers, sisters lynched, killed? See the lynching with Mr. Reed, you know, for them to say he wasn't hung. That was itself was a sad, you know what I mean, incident that they made, that the brother died through suicide. You know, this injustice, y'all, we see today has stuck with us. History always repeat itself. When I see there had not been justice by far, there had not been justice by a quarter. And we see the people, they can't get no extended time. Because when it comes to a nation See. It comes to a nation. Every nation will have to come to a point that every nation have a term, and when a term comes, it will never be decided. The term when a term has expired, there's a term that has to come. There's a change that we are looking for. A change will have to come. Whenever they have that expiration, that expiration was already expired. See. America had an expiration date. It had expired. It's like the Most High God remembered their iniquity, their sins already heaped up all into the heavens. Now people already know what's coming and what they see is coming is approaching.
To fill up our Army, Navy, Air Force. We couldn't fill them up. And those headlines, his headlines, it was during Biden's 4 years. The auto pen, I call them the auto pen. It's how would you like to have your thing signed by an auto pen? When I have a general and I have to sign for a general because we have beautiful paper, the gorgeous paper, I said throw a little more gold on it. They deserve it. I want the A paper, not the D paper. We used to sign on a piece of garbage. I said, this man's going to be a general, right? Yeah. I don't want to use this. I want to use the big, beautiful, firm paper. I want to use the real gold writing when you talk about the position, and they're beautiful. And, but how would you like to have that where some kid sitting in the back office is having it signed with an auto pen? I thought about it, and I thought about you people first, admirals, generals. I said, somebody works his whole life. He gets into maybe the academies or wherever, but however you got there, and you go through years of work, and now you become an admiral or a general or whatever. And when you do, the President of the United States signs your commission, as you know, and that commission is beautifully displayed. And I sign it. Actually, I love my signature. I really do. Everyone loves my signature. But I signed it very proudly, and I always think to myself, how can you have an auto pen sign this? It's just so disrespectful to me. It's just totally disrespectful. And it turned out that almost everything he did was signed by auto pen, except for when he gave his son, Hunter, pardon. He signed that one. And that's actually the worst signature I've ever seen. That was the pen. The auto pen looks much better. But as leaders, our commitment to every patriot who put on the uniform is to ensure that American military remains the most lethal and dominant on the planet, not merely for a few years, but for the decades and generations to come, for centuries.
The sad thing is, America will never become great again. She never become great as she once, was before. She will never become great anymore. This caught a lot of people on surprise, man. Now, how long you think y'all that they gonna go with this government shutdown? I want y'all to think for a second. Because there was a lot of you guys vote, vote these people in. A lot of people vote for Trump. Trump 25, right? He ain't care nothing. He showed he ain't care nothing about you. I'm just trying to tell you guys, man. It seems like this is a angry Trump. You know what I mean? I think this is a worse Trump we had in 2016, if you ask me. So y'all stop. See, y'all get your hands out your asses. Stop pointing fingers at each other. Or stop pointing fingers at people telling this truth to you. Excuse my French. But you two, if you want to flag it just because I am the curse, I'm just getting people the real, man. Y'all get y'all fingers out y'all, you know what I mean, crumbs of your behinds and understanding, man, that they don't have no interest for you. You are no use no more. You about to start finding out, man. The dominoes already setting in, man. The dominoes already setting in, man. People are out here starving. You know what I mean? Hungry. I don't see how any American can continue to pay rent. They might as well just let your rent be free if it's shut down. If they taking up jobs, they're taking all the jobs from us. You know. I just help. I just help my baby mama because I mean, I can't let someone that had my child. You know what I mean? This is how hard things is, man. I'm coming to a point, man. I give my family my last for what I have. But things really, what I mean, whining, man, winding down here, man. You know what I mean? For them to say a whole bunch of things. Oh, we don't have no more funds. We run out of funds. It's man. This thing finna get real bad, man. Real bad. I say real funky. I don't want y'all accusing me. And I done been here. I've been here telling y'all the real. See, I'm not like some YouTubers, all these other YouTubers now. These other YouTubers talk about basketball, talk about things this irrelevant. See, they don't want you to get on here talking the truth. See, only a few of us get on here talking about what's going on. They don't want you to see if they paying these YouTubers a lot of money. See, I don't get paid by YouTube. As a content creator, man, I love bringing content. You know what I mean? There's only see. This is why I always say many are chose, but only a few is chosen. Only a few is invited to the invitation. All these pastors, these local churches pastors, they might not be invited to the invitation, to God's invitation. To be a real true servant of God, see you got to speak truth, even if it costs you your life. Those people that spoke truth cost them their life. See, we running down from Abel to Zechariah and even Muhammad. From Jesus. There's no people that will accept you because of what you stand up for. Chosen ones, if you're a chosen one's going to be the ones tested. You can see, like when I've been getting people that come, I've been getting a great crowd that will come in. Then you get a crowd that will come in for this a moment, then they leave. A lot of people just want to fish your information, information you bring out to use it. I know people that will watch your your lies, steal some ideas. Most of them can be, you know what I mean, big content creators. I see it. I see it all the time. I see this all the time. But to say this though, man, we live in a doggy dog, man. We live in a real doggy dog world, man. You can't now you can't trust nobody. We got a lot of these YNs, you know what I mean? You know, only very few people will stand up for, you know, when it comes to racial injustice. It's only very few, man. I want to give a big shout out to my big brother, man. You know what I mean? Another strong brother, man. That's you know what I mean. That's in the Most High God, man. I recommend you guys visit his channel, New Breed, man. Big shout out to my brother, man. You know what I mean. My brother from another mother, man. You know what I mean. I support his, you know what I mean, channel, man. And you know, there's a lot of man tellers, man. You know what I mean. There's a lot of tellers, man. People like I don't know if you guys went on Reno TV, but there's a lot of things between people that don't support the black movement. It's sad, bro. This is why a nation gonna take a whole. This is why America gonna take a whole downfall, man. This is why a nation suffered, man, because America don't want to do one basic principle. But everybody, some people recommend, well, Trump is a good president. Nah, man, overall, man, you know, overall, do you see his approval ratings? If you line everything up, you will see overall. A lot of people say, well, he's a businessman. What kind of business we seen? Wherever happened is 100 days in his nomination, ain't nothing happened, man. You have reporters asking, what's up with the trades? America doesn't have no more friends. She's sitting here by herself, man. She's mad at everyone. You know what I mean? She's mad at her own people. Trump can't stand the fact, man. You got social media. Social media is clapping back what they see. And Trump have enough. He's tacking on, man. Look, man. He's tacking everyone. So if America don't get their way, you know what I mean, right? She willing to have everyone suffer. Y'all gotta see this is what y'all gotta know, man. She don't care, man. A lot of starving people, man. You gonna see, man. Starvation, man, is real, man. A lot of hungry people, man. People are gonna be out here fighting, going in here. It's gonna be a time, man. People gonna be going in these stores. Let me, you know what I mean? You gotta. It's every man for himself, man. And a crazy. You know what I mean? Crazy world, man. This. We about to see some crazy things happening. We see signs of wonder being displayed throughout the heavens and earth. We see NASA when it comes to NASA and CERN, they can't track of what they seeing approaching Earth. They so worried. They worry y'all. They worry of what's coming. I'm telling y'all, man. I tell y'all this because they lied to a lot of people. They try to say something about 2030 that asteroid will approaches Earth. Man, this is just the beginning. This is just a glimpse of things. They ain't seen that yet. We got 200 years of great famines from that. You know what I mean? Come. But I don't want no one to be dis- discouraged or anything. I don't want to scare my people and nothing like that. But we gotta be vigilant, man. We gotta be self-mindedness. We gotta be self-control. A lot of people gonna go out because of the fear. Because when the enemy can pump the world with fear and tactics and scare people and use power to put the people in fear, we live in fear all our life. But God is here so that way we can. He trying to move this confusion off of us and put it into them. You can be able to master fear. See, America will have to help herself. She'll have to help herself to the desert of the earth, which she had prepared for us. See, America, you eat it now. See, we got to give all praise or due to God, the Lord of the world, for trying to offer us and sit us in heaven. Heaven is a place. Romans 14, I want to say 8. If we live, my brothers and sisters, see, we live for the Lord. And if we die, see, we die for the Lord. See, whether we live or die, see, we belong with the Lord. If God is for us, who can be against us? See, don't be content about anything. Don't worry about anything because God says, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. If God is for us, who can be against us? See, who can separate us from God? Especially we see in time like this. See, the enemy is only here to put fear in our hearts. Put us to be miserable. Pain that our people going through. There's this mental depression. There's a disease that our people living in that can't come out from. There's people suffering mentally, physically, and psychologically. There's anxiety that our people face in pain through this world, through this society. So God says, cast all your anxieties on him because see, he cares for you. And be alert because the enemy, the devil, he prowls around like a rare lion, seeking who he may devour. So you're going to have to come out from her way of life. You have to come out from her thinking. You gotta draw close to God. You gotta resist the devil. Come close to God so he can come close to you. Let's go.
We must be so strong that no nation will dare challenge us, so powerful that no enemy will dare threaten us, and so capable that no adversary can even think about beating us. And we've had it recently. I had India and Pakistan were going at it, and I called them both. And in this case, I used trade. I'm not going to trade with you. You start two nuclear nations, big nuclear. And no, you cannot do that. I said, yes, I can. You go into this freaking war that I'm hearing about. You know, actually, they just shot down 7 planes. 7 planes. It was starting. There's a lot of bad blood. And I said, you do this, there's not going to be any trade. And I stopped the war. It was raging for 4 days, but that was just the beginning. And we stopped it. It was a great thing. And the Prime Minister of Pakistan was here, along with the field marshal.
You guys, I want y'all to understand that I love you guys. But America, when it comes to America, America loves to have scientists to dread this experiments on how best to kill human beings by the millions. Having a brought Anthony Fauci, and he was responsible of millions of lives that he unalive. When they came with this vaccine, see, this is bad. How Satan required those. They didn't care if you was rich, poor, slave, free. You have politicians that's urging America, get vaccinated, get vaccinated. You should always ask questions. You know, the sad thing I found that people that was dealing with blood clots, 3-4 inch blood clots in their vein. People was vomiting. People was shaking. Now, I want y'all to think for a second here. Do you actually think that this country is so blessed? Because some people will say, well, God, he's a merciful God. He's a forgiving God. But he also can be a jealous God. He also can show his jealousy. He been merciful, but he also can be a jealous God. He's a God you can't take for granted. And too many of them, they take God for granted. They put it right in our face when it comes to police brutality. Racial injustice in America have always stuck with us. It never had died down. History is this always repeat itself. And there's nothing we can do. So when I look, I see the four great judgments that are afflicting America is rain. We see snow, fire, earthquakes. And see, the storms, I want to say to you, brothers and sisters, can be delayed. That it can. Because it has to be entirely up to them to make good this day. See, Jesus said when you give in a brother or sister a drink of water, and that's going to be a good act. See, this one God can prolong their time. See, this one God can put a great extension of time. Because no good act goes without its reward. You have to make good, you know what I mean, meet. You have to make ends meet. Our people down here, we suffering. We suffering. And see, I want to say this. I want y'all to prove to me, black, brown, red, yellow, white, prove to me if I'm a liar, that you had, after 400 years, you see, in the ritual district, the sun nose, kemp mouth, tobacco juice mouth, blue-eyed devils are plunking our people down to such slavery teachings. You see, crushing them to death and diseasing them. Right in the South, our children used to come up suffering from malnutrition. Children suffering from the lack of medical attention. You see, all behind this devil that want to do all the ill that he possibly can against a people that served him 400 years right in the South. You should see how they treat it and how they go into the drugstore and get their mail. You see, whenever there's a carrier, a postal carrier, you think that they doing them a favor, but they making them have to go all the way around to the other side to collect their mail right in the South. But I want to also say, in the South, you'll find the people living in a worse condition. Places stinking, boarded up right there, stinking. And when children are suffering from malnutrition, you know what I mean? When children are suffering from diseases, you know, all behind the devil that can do all his work that he can do against a people that served them 400 years. See, go right in the South and see it for yourself.
This is a very important guy in Pakistan, and he was here 3 days ago. And I didn't even realize it as beautiful as he said it, but he said that to a group of people that were with us, 2 generals, but a group, he said this man saved millions of lives because he saved the war from going on, and that war was going to get very bad, very, very bad. President Trump saved millions and millions of lives. That was a bad war. And I was very honored. I loved the way he said it. Susie Wiles was there. She said that was.
I want to say this to y'all, man. Trump is carrying out the day of Hitler. But if you notice, I want to say this to you. See, you can put up Hitler, you know, Genghis Khan and Tabla Khan and Tamerlane. You can put Trump up. But notice, my brothers, that they never killed as many people as God. Because God kills and destroys people out of his love for righteousness. And he hates us when we refuse to bow down and submit ourselves for his mercy before it's too late. See, many scientists and scholars can say that it's too late for this demand because a divine intervention was set to destroy her. See, America, she won't, and I said she won't do that one principle. See, the doing of justice would have checked her fall. There had never been a solution. See, when we find a solution, we can find a right method. There had never been a solution. And see, a nation that had been divided. And see, when Satan and his kingdom is divided, you know that kingdom cannot stand. See, because we know when a house is divided, that house cannot stand. When Satan and his kingdom is divided, it cannot stand. Because a time has approached. See, God is going to push the people into the center of this earth. And they're going to realize that it's God bringing their country to a nothing. See, when Job prophesies in the 38th chapter, 22 and 23, have you enter into the treasures of snow? Have you seen the treasure of hell, which I have poured on the wicked? They never seen snow from 35 feet on. Hey, and in Dubai, there's 10 centimeters of snow. And they go to Dubai, you can get you a nice pig feet in some market. You can run and hide. But don't you never think that if God want to get to you and make an example of you? Let's go.
It's the most beautiful thing. But we saved a lot of them. Saved a lot of them. Even in Africa we saved. In the Congo with Rwanda. They've been fighting for 31 years. 10 million people dead. I got that one done. And very proud of it. So if this works out, we'll have 8 in 8 months. That's pretty good. Nobody's ever done that. Will you get the Nobel Prize? Absolutely not. They'll give it to some guy that didn't do a damn thing. They'll give it to a guy that wrote a book about the mind of Donald Trump and what it took to solve the wars. And he'll get the Nobel Prize will go to a writer. Yeah, but we'll see what happens. But it's be a big insult to our country. I will tell you that. I don't want it. I want the country to get it. It should get it because there's never been anything like it. Think of it. So if this happens, I think it will. I don't say that lightly because I know more about deals than anybody. This is what my whole life was based on. And they can change, and this can certainly change. But we have just about everybody. We have one signature that we need, and that signature will pay in hell if they don't sign. I hope they sign for their own good and create something really great. But to have done 8 of them is just like such an honor. And then we have Putin and Zelensky.
Now, when Jesus said, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free," there have been no truth from these people. It's proven. It has been proven that we cannot live with them in peace. See, peace was never in the nature of these race of people, or these right race of people. See, I want to give you James chapter 5, verse 6. See, you have murdered the innocent ones who is not opposing you. You have murdered the innocent ones who is not a threat to you and have never been a threat. See, black people, we've never been a threat to them, but we are a target. See, a man that's dressed in a black and white uniform, he's patrolling the streets. That badge represents the line of his duty. So Psalms chapter 10 verse 8 says, "He sat in the lurching places of the village in a secret place. Do he murder the innocents? His eyes are set against the poor." So up until this day, he's seeking to murder that one black helpless victim. So Chicago, we have a problem because we see the kidnapping in Chicago. We see black Americans getting snatched up. Not just Mexican immigrants, but we see black and brown pride is getting abused. And we see, I was telling you guys earlier, for those probably just now timing in, they give a F. Now, this is coming from the Ice Age, and they give a F because they was going into Chicago to drag children out of their beds, ransack Chicago buildings. You know what I mean? Ransack the cities. This is what Trump is on. This is what I want y'all to understand. This is what he's on. This unlawful. I told you guys. Haven't I said it? That what they're going to do? He's bringing in a martial law tactic. I'm telling you. They're not concerned. See, the shootings that the shooting that we had this in Texas. We had shootings in this and this in less than a week span. We got a serial killer, if they have not captured yet in Houston. Houston got a problem. We got a big problem in Houston. We got a problem in Texas. I believe this same serial killers out. And they're not bringing in no military into Texas, man. Not in no red states. See, this is why I ask you. Is this country blessed? Is this nation blessed? Or did God remember her iniquity and he's coming into a time? They show you guys that they can't carve out a future because you are no interest. They snatching up everything because they know a time is here, y'all. They snatching up everything, y'all. They snatching up everything. They don't. See, I told y'all, man. I told y'all that when the government shut down, see, they don't even know when, how they gonna reset things, man. I guarantee you this. I can tell you this. They playing everything by eye. Because what's coming is not a comment, it's not an atlas. That they didn't already fabricate the world with so many lies, you guys. I didn't already told you guys about the motherships. I seen the mother planes from my childhood. I know there was gonna be a time that they were gonna come back. See, they disappointed with this civilization, man. But see, here's my thing. They never want to tell you guys. The government been trying to keep this thing a secret. They never did want to tell you guys, man. And I can tell y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all, man, because I love y'all. Because I rather tell you the truth than lie to you. The mother ships is here to destroy this present world and to bring in a new world. The mothership's like a new human-made planet. Now it talks. If you go into Revelation, we already in that Revelation. We're getting ready to come into that Revelation. Bear with me, you guys. We're gonna get deep into this, y'all. We gotta get deep. We gotta get deep into this, y'all. Get deep into this Revelation chapter. See, Revelation, the 21 chapter, it talks about, then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth passed away. And there was no longer any sea. And I saw the holy cities, the new Jerusalem coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride, beautiful, dressed for a husband. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, this mothership is like a new human-made planet now. It's like a new city, man. It's like a new human. It's hard. It's just hard to explain things to people because you know what I mean. Some people say, "Oh, it's a chariot," but look, remember Ezekiel's prophesied seeing the will. See, it's the mothership. It's the size of 9 football fields put together. And see, I've been saying this to you guys. They can't. The scientists and scholars know America on the way out. They can't look when it comes for battle and war. When God comes with all His holy ones, because it says in Jude, the Lord will come with thousands and thousands of His holy ones. And see the mother, see the mother planes. See you get from the motherships, you get all these other planes that come out of these motherships. You know, it can think of what you are planning to do to it. That's how advanced the motherships. It been on Earth gravity for a long time, and they are to know that this is not a plane to be played with. See, they won't see. I've been saying to you guys, they want to attack it and destroy it. See, they want to do these harmful things at it, but you know, even when they struck that fireball, that missile, it didn't do nothing to it. It didn't do nothing. They were trying to destroy it, but when they hit it, it was 3 other orbs came out of that orb. I'm telling y'all, man, we are in some serious trouble. They put us, they put us real in a serious hole, man. They're going through the solar systems. No, it's no problem, man. They can't even see. They can't see what's coming. Now I want y'all to just think right now. Think logical and use your discernment here, man, because what's coming on this earth, it can destroy humanity. I'm gonna just say it like that. If it won't to just come and do what it came here to do, yes. Let's go.
Easiest one of them all. I said, that one I'll get done. I thought that was going to be first. The other was much harder. Some of them. Azerbaijan this was going on for 36 years. They said it's not solvable, sir. Don't do it. I said, I will do it. I will do it. And I got on the phone with the 2 countries. They were great. They were great. I knew immediately. I knew as soon as I started talking to them, we're going to solve that war. We did. Now they're so happy. Now they're friends. One said he's been president for 32 years, 22 years. He said, for 22 years, I did nothing but kill his people. They were in the room together at the Oval Office. And they started off the spread like this, have the beautiful Resolute desk. And one was here, and one was here. You couldn't get further away. That's the furthest I've ever seen 2 people in front of me. And as the hour went by, they got closer, closer, closer. And at the end of the hour, we had it done. And they hugged and hugged and hugged. And I said, that's so nice, and you're going to remain friends. And I spoke to them, one of them the other day. He said, no, he's now my friend. But for 22 years, he's been the head of Azerbaijan for 22 years. And the other guy, great guy too, 7. And you know that war, that was a war that was not solvable. He said for 7 years. The other one said for 22 years. All I did was kill his people. That's all I've done. I said, well, we're going to put a stop to that. So we solved that. So it's a great thing. It's a great feeling. You're saving.
I'm gonna say it like this, y'all. Had they ever put a stop to infrastructure, global warming? Had they ever tried to help many of those American people that lost their homes? because the insurance company only could do so much. When they took FEMA, you taking FEMA away from hard American people. You got FEMA 4.6 billion funding to fund people that was dealing with those natural disasters. They have, see, this is why I say they have no interest for the American people, man. It's sad, man. It's sick. It hurts me to watch and see how many people lost their homes, man. And they got to go through a nasty storms. Y'all get yourself right with God, man. And I don't want y'all to stop playing and thinking that this is not a serious matter, man. Because God is angry, man. He's angry. God is angry because these people are held accountable, man. And if you learn by their ways, if you follow the wicked devil, you're going to be just like them. Because he's going to take the followers into the fall of America. America is on the way of falling, man. She can't save herself for a great day that's coming. See, they only, my brothers and sisters, they only held, out promises only to deceive you. See, they know that God is here offering us to sit us in heaven at once. And since hell has been their appointed place, they're trying to get us to go to hell on these false promises. Let's go.
Kosovo and Serbia, you're saving so many lives doing this if you can do it. But our people deserve nothing less than the very best, and we're never going to let them down. And if we can solve wars instead of you having to fight wars, wouldn't that be wonderful? Wouldn't that be wonderful? That's why one of the first executive orders I signed upon taking office was to restore the principle of merit. That's the most important word. Other than the word tariff, I love tariffs. Most beautiful word. But I'm not allowed to say that anymore. I said tariff is my favorite word. I love the word tariff. You know, we're becoming rich as hell. We have a big case in front of the Supreme Court, but I can't imagine. Because this is what other nations have done to us. And we have, great legal grounds. But you still have a case would be very bad. Something happened. But I said, my favorite word in the English dictionary is the word tariff. And people thought that was strange. And the fake news came over and they really...
See, he like these tariffs because he can put these tariffs in China, man. See, Trump has this big thing, man, with Beijing and China Prime Minister, man. Come on, man. We can't dig ourselves out this trouble, y'all. I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling y'all what's going on. She can't do no more trades. America used to bring in a lot, do her trades stuff. She can't do no more trade. Her trades is no more value. People don't want to, you know what I mean? People don't want to do no more. It's no more trades. People don't want to do no more bidding for her. I'm telling y'all, friendship is speaking her doing. Look, nobody want to do with her. Her dollar ain't worth anything anymore, y'all. When she can't do nothing, no trades and nothing like that. And all they doing is snatching their dollar away. Now they focus on taking things away because they can't make no more transactions. See, you gotta understand. I want y'all to think. Use your discernment. Think for a second. Ain't nobody gonna think for us. So we gotta always be. I'm gonna keep y'all to be always one step, me up. Because if you're not, you can be a lost soul. You got to think here. what they planning to do. You know what I mean? If they can't make no trade with all of these other foraging countries, y'all. Oh yeah, they gotta take people's hard Social Security away. They gotta bring the cost up on Medi-Cal, Medicare. I'm telling y'all what they about to do, man. Y'all taxes gonna be looking horrible, man. Your income taxes this year are in jeopardy, man. You know what I mean? They already they, look, banks and some of these banks is being shut down. It's getting bad, y'all. It's getting that bad. You know what I mean? Do not see. So I say, do not be expecting a settlement after this war. If you can look at it now, they ain't trying to hand us nothing. If you can just look at it now, they ain't trying to give you nothing. Man, it's look. We already know they, you know what I mean. They made that they don't have no more interest in us. They already made that clear. They made it clear that we are no more use. They made that clear to us. Let's go.
Hit me hard on that. They said, what about love? What about religion? What about God? What about wife, family? I got killed when I said tariff is my favorite word. So I changed it. It's now my fifth favorite word. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But they hit me hard. But it is. I mean, when you look at, we've taken in trillions of dollars. We're rich again. There'll never be, when we finish this out, there'll never be any wealth like what we have. Other countries were taking advantage of us for years and years. You know that better than anybody. And now we're treating them fairly. But the money coming in is, we've never seen anything like. The other day they had 31 billion that they found, $31 billion. So we found $31 billion and we're not sure from where it came. The gentleman came to the financial guy. I said, well, what does that mean? He said, we don't know where it came. I said, check the tariff shelf. No, sir, the tariffs haven't started in that sector yet. I said, yes, they have. They started 7 weeks ago. Check it. Comes back 20 minutes later. Sir, you're right. It came from tariffs. 31 billion. That's enough to buy a lot of battleships, Admiral. To use an old term. I think we should maybe start thinking about battleships, by the way. You know, we have a Secretary of the Navy came to me, because I look at the Iowa out in California, and I look at different ships, the old pictures. I used to watch Victory at Sea. I love Victory at Sea. Look at these admirals. It's got to be your all-time favorite, black and white. And I look at those ships they came.
Look, black and white can't get along. I hate to say it like this. We just could never get along. And it's like y'all heard this saying, every man must go to his own, right? No matter if you black, white, red, yellow. Every man can agree that they can just go to their own land. I'm just saying, not to teach hate teachings to you, but I gotta say it the way I gotta say it. They have not proved that they can, you know what I mean, live in peace. It's proven. It's been proven that we can't live in peace. The world could be a much better place that it could be than where we seeing right now. Crimes just went up just to another level. See, murdering robbery and rape. Children is missing. Children's being shot. Texas shootings is happening. Trump ain't not talking about deploying military troops in Texas. Texas is a red state, but we seen this over the past, this within a week. You know, we live in a country where it's cursed. And I just want to say every when it comes to law enforcement, when it comes to saying we got to respect our authorities, things like that. Not every law enforcement the way they are. The South is like it's just, to me, it's just a different ball game. You know, we seen things that's been happening in the North and to the South. You know what I mean? But the South, it's just been, man, it would never cross my eyes to see. And now I know, you know what I mean. We don't really had like pay attention when our people was getting killed to all of a sudden we seen it starting to happen more frequently. See when it happened when it started, we wasn't trying to pay no attention to it because we didn't pay attention. But when it started happening and it started happening more often and more frequently, and yes, it becomes a problem. It become where now we gotta have platforms to discuss and talk about this racial issue we have. Police, you know what I mean, shootings and police brutality on black Americans. We sure gotta talk about that. Because they don't give a damn about solving the political issues here, man. They don't give a damn about it, man. And I gotta, you know what I mean? I gotta bring truth because Jesus said, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." They never did. When it comes to black folks, they're not here. See, this is why I said they're not here to solve our problems, man. They're not here to solve our problems. I've been waiting for this day to come because God had heard the cry of His people. And they can just, you know what I mean, keep taking God for granted. But our people are down here crying, suffering, going through the pain and anxiety, a mental pain, a mental disorder, a mental disease, a mental breakdown that our people are going through. Let's go.
With the destroyers alongside of them, and nothing was going to stop. They were 20 deep, and they were in a straight line, and there was nothing going to stop them. And we actually talk about, those ships. Some people would say, no, that's old technology. I don't know. I don't think it's old technology when you look at those guns, but it's something we're actually considering. The concept of battleship, nice 6-inch sides, solid steel, not aluminum. Aluminum that melts if it looks at a missile coming at it. It starts melting as the missile's about 2 miles away. Now those ships, they don't make them that way anymore, but you look at it and your secretary likes it, and I'm sort of open to it. And bullets are a lot less expensive than missiles. A lot of reasons. I should take a vote, but I'm afraid to take that vote because I may get voted out on that one. But I tell you, it's something we're seriously considering. There were powers. There were big powers. They were just about as mean and scary as you could be. So we're looking at that. One of the biggest cases that we won was the decision of the United States Supreme Court to allow us to proceed on the word merit. Marin. So those two words are right up there. So this is, I would say, the opposite if you ask for a definition. The opposite.
But I want to say this to you guys: we all going to meet. We all going to meet the judgment, and everything you do will be counted upon. If you do a mighty deed, it will be rewarded. If you do evil, it will come. You know, Jesus, I say this: when you giving a brother or sister a drink of water, and that being a good act, God will prolong a time. God will put a great extension of time. When you doing a good act, you know, God can rearrange things. You know, one basic principle America can do to bring justice, bring a nation together instead of being divided. That's the importance that America got to clean up. And I don't believe for a fact that I could tell you that, you know what I mean, they're gonna have some good in them. You know, this is why the scientists are saying and the scholars are saying that America's on the way out. This means bloodshed. Y'all gotta be ready now. This is not a joke that I'm just talking, but you gotta be ready of what's coming on this earth. Because anything can lively this tick. These pledge is boiling, and it's gonna boil all the way down to the last dread. So you take it or let it alone. So you don't have another 15, 10 years. See, the fall could be within a few days. See, it been, brothers, I want to say, it been a year that far that God been pledging America day and night with his divine pledge of storms. You can witness the twisters in the area where some of you may have lived. You can actually witness storms the size of golf balls, baseball, footballs. You can witness right in the New England states. They've been great, you know what I mean, storm. You know, rain God uses another weapon he used on the wicked. Too much of this rain can destroy America and her cities. Too much rain can destroy the pure drinking water. Rain is a destructive army itself. See, too much rain bring out reptiles fighting people's homes. You know, rain floods cities and towns. Let's go.
Instead of political correctness, we went through political correct where you had to have people that were totally unfit to be doing what you're doing for many reasons I won't get into, but for many reasons they were unfit. Now, it's all based on merit. That was such an unbelievable decision. I didn't expect we were going to win that one. We went in. We said we needed. We went in for colleges, where kids with a C average are getting into the best colleges, and the kids with A averages won't get in. And kids with the highest boards and the highest marks and the best marks couldn't get into the best schools. And people that had not good boards and not very good marks. I mean, okay, but nothing special. They were getting into our best colleges. I said, this is just crazy. You can't run a country like this. And it was lingering for years, and it got to the Supreme Court, and we won that decision. Merit, everything's based on merit. You're all based on merit. We're not going to have somebody taking your place for political reasons because they are politically correct, and you're not. We take the people that are going to do the best job. That's all. It's very simple. And that's the way our country was built. We were built on merit. We got away from it for a long time. And everyone understands it. And it was done. It was approved. I give great credit to the Supreme Court because I thought they had tremendous courage. I didn't think they'd do that. That was tremendous. I give them maybe for that decision almost more than anything because it's a hard decision to make. It's really hard. The apparatus of our country was not set up for merit. It was set up for political correctness. And you can never be great if you're going to do that. And we're going to be greater than we ever were before. We're bringing back a focus on fitness, ability, character, and strength. And that's because the purposes of the American military is not to protect anyone's feelings.
Look, you guys, it's obvious that they're bringing out another agenda, but they gotta look, y'all. They playing this. They playing this by eye, y'all. So whatever approaching Earth got them really shaking up, y'all. They fierce, y'all. So they're shutting things down, man. They gotta play by ear, man. So you can't take the Most High God and his people for a joke, man. When the Lord comes, he comes with thousands of his holy ones. He's not coming doing any further teaching, no kind of guidance. He's not coming to guide or not. Y'all gotta understand this thing is personal, man. You remember there was a man that fled the scene, left his garment behind? He's going to strip them completely entire into their nakedness. You got to understand, he's not a God to be taken lightly on. He's not a God to be taken granted on. I'm telling you guys, they playing this by eye. Because I'm telling you, they furious of what's coming, y'all. I'm telling you guys. Playing this by eye. They you know what I mean, they watching. And they thinking that nothing's gonna happen. See, they expecting that nothing happen, so they get right back into that agenda. Get right back to get back into if you read 2 Thessalonians chapter you go to 9 to 11, Satan get right back into lying, this being, you know what I mean, a deceiver. This is why the Most High God, when he sent a powerful illusion, he's going to continue to have you believe all the lies you heard. Because if you want to continue to believe this devil, continue to believe the lies then. So because he's going to put a hinge over people that don't want to believe in him, he'll put a hinge on you and have you believe all these false lies, these false fabricated lies that they're going to tell the world. You got to understand that chapter. He sends a powerful, and 2 Thessalonians, verse 11, God sends a powerful illusion so that the people can just continue to hear all the lies that they've been told. All the lies you accepted. This devil don't have no place for you. I've been telling you that, and I've been proving that to you. If you believe in the Most High, if you believe in God, you shouldn't have no worry. You should have no worry of what's coming and approaching. they're more worried than we are. Because if they not worried, my brothers and sisters, see, I want y'all to think. If they not worried, just think for a second. Why are they taking things off? Why are they taking a lot of things off the shelf? Let's think for a second. Why are we going through a government shutdown? Why are they taking Social Security? Why are they taking all these things away? Why are they closing down banks and all this stuff, right? You see it. I want y'all to think now. Think for a second. Why are they taking jobs? We seeing massive layoffs. We seeing people they taking jobs. Why are they doing all this? I want y'all to think for a second, man. Why are they doing all this? Because something big is coming. You have to think for a second. Something big is coming, man. Let's go.
Feelings. It's to protect our republic, and it's the republic that we dearly love. It's to protect our country. We will not be politically correct when it comes to defending American freedom, and we will be a fighting and winning machine. We want to fight, we want to win, and we want to fight as little as possible. You have to count on people like me to keep you out of wars, because we don't want to go into wars. Many of the wars that I just told you about, we could have entered those wars and settled them in a different way, lose a lot of our troops, and we could have settled them, I guess, differently. Maybe not, actually. You might not have been able to settle it. We just would have been in the middle of a lot of firepower. But when we do need it, you're going to be so ready, and you know it. But very importantly, with that goal in mind, I've committed to spending over $1 trillion on our military in 2026, and that's the most in the history of our country. $1 trillion. That's a lot of money. I hope you like that, ma'ams and sirs. I hope you like it. That's a hell of a lot of money. We have the best of everything. Every branch is seeing major investments, and as I announced in the Oval Office in March, we are rapidly moving forward with the first ever 6th generation fighter jet. I didn't name it. I did not name it. Boeing came in and they said, "Sir, this is our submittal. It's the greatest fighting jet ever done." And you know, they're testing all these planes. All the companies are testing, and this one tested like through the roof. And they said, "We'd like to name it the F-47. I said, "All right, let me think about it." Then after thinking for about 2 seconds, I said, "Okay. You know what that means, 47. I'm 47. So I'm 45, 46, and 47. Yeah, if you think about it. I just don't want the credit for 46. I don't want to have their open borders, people coming in from all over the world, including jails and mental institutes. I don't want that on my record, but I like having it. We're investing tens of billions of dollars in modernizing our nuclear deterrence capability.
See, when I look at Trump, I look at him as a excessive liar. See, America. See, there at a time you can run, but you can't hide. Elon Musk is visiting the moon because see, America's in danger of what can evade this nation. I say this to you guys, man. The more evil we see, the more we can see that the scientist is right, that the earth is speeding up, and when the earth normally speed up, a revelation had to be given. You see, Isaiah 24:20 said, "The earth shall read to and fro like a drunkard." See, the Earth is speeding up to its course. Now, how long do you think we got when things lively can play in? We don't have long, too long. When things start to fold, we ain't got long to see. And see, the thing is, we will live to see what's coming to America. Let's go.
It's like never before. And we've begun construction on what we call the Golden Dome missile defense shield. It'll be the most sophisticated in the world. You watched it do well until they had some problems at the end with a little bit of a lack of ammunition, defensive ammunition, but they've got that taken care of. But I tell you, it's what we're doing is so good, and we deserve it. You know, we help other countries with it. We don't have it ourselves. And Canada called me a couple of weeks ago. They want to be part of it. To which I said, well, why don't you just join our country? You become 51, become the 51st state, and you get it for free. So I don't know if that made a big impact, but it does make a lot of sense. And actually, because they're having a hard time up there in Canada now, because as you know, with tariffs, everyone's coming into our country. We have more investment than we've ever had before. $17 trillion coming in. As an example, in 4 years, Biden didn't have 1 trillion. We have 17 trillion, more than that in 8 months coming in. And they're coming in from Canada, Mexico, from Europe, from all over. AI, auto plants. Everybody's coming back to the United States. Under my budget, we will be expanding the U.S. Navy by at least 19 ships next year, including submarines, destroyers, assault ships, and more. And it's going to be much more than that as we go along. Because we basically don't build ships anymore. We do build submarines, but we don't build ships. You know, in the Second World War, there were freighters and different types, but we were doing a ship a day. And now we don't do ships. And I'm not a fan of some of the ships you do. I'm a very aesthetic person. I don't like some of the ships you're doing aesthetically. They say, oh, it's stealth. I say, that's an ugly ship is not necessary in order to say you're stealth. By the way, the B-2 bombers were incredible. That is stealth. They went into that. I was with General Kane and everything. Pete were we go in the war room. But we're watching them go in, and they were totally untouched. They were not seen. They were literally not seen. They dropped their bombs. They hit every single one of them hit its target. It was total obliteration. CNN, when we came back, fake news, CNN. Oh.
I want y'all to think for a second, man. We are facing a war in the making, y'all. Things with are about to feud, y'all. Trump is escalating a war, and like I said, man, what he's doing in Chicago, not this Latinos, going through, the raid in Chicago. Black people are getting snatched up. They are snatching black people up from their home. There was 37 arrests made. In that ICE raid. So, you guys, I want y'all. I want you to just think for a second, man. What Trump is doing, man. What Trump seems to do is unlawful, man. And it's like people are allowing this man to do whatever he want to do. It's crazy how it sounds, y'all, but it's like in these cities where you see the city mayors that's in these cities, they can't, they can't believe it, man. And people about had enough, man. So, It's sad, y'all. Let's go.
Oh, the camera just went off. You know, the camera, every time I mention it, they turn the camera off because it's never good. They say this is a problem, but I don't blame them. You're better off keeping it on. But they have some scammer reporter who started saying, without any knowledge, that he may not have hit the targets as well as they thought. It may not have been obliteration. He did hit the targets, and I got to give us a little credit, right? It was obliteration, it turned out. The Atomic Energy Commission said it was obliteration. They not only did they hit the target, they had these shoots. And think of this here. Way up in the sky, there was no moon, it was dead dark, couldn't see a thing, couldn't see them. But they had, I guess, a beam going right into these chutes. Every single one of those bombs went right down those chutes into a granite mountain. I think it's the last time they're going to build air chutes. They had these air chutes that were nice, beautiful. They were meant for us. But it was total obliteration. And now they give us credit for that. But these people were phenomenal. I tell you, for the Air Force people here, you can be very proud of that B-2. We just ordered a lot of new ones and updated ones, but I'd take the other ones. Let me tell you, they couldn't have worked any better. So they flew for 37 hours total, back and forth. No stops, no nothing. With 52 tankers loaded.
Not only Trump has sold us out, but Trump is a sellout. America sold us out. I always tell you guys, man, I just want y'all, if y'all gotta watch this video again, feel free. But I always tell you guys, man, let's look at what these people doing. They don't have a future for themselves, so they decide to want to take everything, snatch everything, FEMA up. Come on, they put it right in y'all faces, man. They letting y'all see what they about. She look, man. She'll have no friends, man. America cannot make friends with nobody. See, people realize that after all these years of trouble that you have made, see, this is a country that loves meddling in other people's affairs. She can never keep her nose clean. So you had everyone's affairs. And then now we can see that these peacemakers, so-called peacemakers, they won't find peace with the world when there's no peace. This is not a time we live in where we living in peace. We've seen what's going on in the world, throughout the world. This is no time for peace. This is what I've always been saying to you guys. This ain't no time we live in where we see peace. Hell, they can't make peace in foreign countries. They can't make nothing, you know what I mean, as to make some kind of peace agreements, deals, anything that, you know what I mean? I mean, we see the time Trump took his visit. There've been a couple of times, you know what I mean, he took his visit in the Middle East, came back with nothing. But a lot of people say, well, Trump, he's a businessman. He ain't in war in 24 hours. We ain't seen no war with Russia and Ukraine in. That Gaza and Israel war. Come on, y'all. Trump is bringing in the old Hitler. See when you can't eat your cake and ice cream, when you look when all these foreign countries looking at America like we're not buying to these you know what I mean, American policies. They look, man. This is why nation and kingdom is rise. This is why these nations are gaining strength. We see America weakening. I told y'all, America's weakening. We're living through 100 dissatisfaction, man. You're about to see how many people's not satisfied, man. We're about to go through 100% of this dissatisfaction. I want to tell y'all, man. Go back to all my videos, man. I would rather you all go back to my videos, watch these videos. I'm telling y'all, you got to fall for currency, man. These people don't even have a future, man. They don't have a future. What do the future hold for American people? Y'all got to ask yourself, what do this hold for American people? Where they can't have a future, you know what I mean, for themselves. Man, they look, man. She gonna feel free that she gonna rally, think she gonna have a good day. Then it's gonna be a terrible time. A terrible time's coming here. A time so terrible it's gonna make children's grave hairs. Let's go.
Bring them up. And that's a job I wouldn't necessarily want too much. Flying a tanker loaded up with hundreds of thousands of gallons of fuel. I don't know if I'd do that job, you know. I asked the question, what happens if it gets in? Sir, you don't want to know about that, right? I don't want to know about that. But those guys, they just hear us. They're incredible. I had them all to the Oval Office. We had the B-2 pilots and a lot of the people, even the people that took care of them, the maintenance people, just as important. We had them all to the White House, gave them a big party on the lawn, brought some of them into the Oval Office. But on top of all this, we'll deliver a hard-earned pay raise of 3.8% to every soldier, sailor, airman, Coast Guardsman, Space Guardman, and Marine, something you weren't getting from the past administration. They did not treat you with respect. They're Democrats. They never do. Not only are we rebuilding on great strength.
Okay, you guys, for more content, make sure you guys subscribe, man. You know what I mean? And for more, for more updates, please stay subscribed. Share this video, man. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. Definitely gonna be back. Definitely gonna be back for more content, man. So then, have a blessed day. And thank you guys, man. Once again, thank all you guys. Make sure you guys smash that like button, man. Share this video, man. But we definitely gonna have to close out. But this, thank you guys, man. Thank you guys. We out.